Here we go.
I'm good right here.
That's not this type of show. Hi, everybody.
You gotta watch out for that Christmas tree.
Hi, everybody. Let's get started. Chair. It's the wrong chair. Have a seat, everybody. Okay, I'm in the wrong chair. I'm periscoping down as we speak. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I know. I feel like I'm in a submarine right there. I'm going down, go back up. Oh, Brad. Come on, Brad. Bring it on out. Hear it for Engineer Brad, everybody. Oh, Brad. Oh, Brad. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Brad. Happy New Year to you and yours. Thank you very much. Now we're better. There we go, everybody.
It was fun.
Say hello to our good friend Shane Wells. Hello, Shane.
Hi.
How you doing, Shane?
That was bad. I didn't react. I just watched and laughed. Isn't that horrible?
No, it's all right. Because if that's how good of friends we are. If it happened to you, I would laugh. I would laugh right back.
You.
So you're very welcome. Oh, I gotta tell you, we had a fierce debate during the. Thank you. And I don't know how the studio audience is going to react, or Shannon, because Miss Shannon's on the show today, and Shane. But here's the deal: we had a debate on the radio show over mac and cheese, like. Very serious stuff. As far as in my 20s, all I lived on was shells and cheese. Kraft macaroni and the shells and cheese with the packet of the sauce, not the powder. Not that nuclear powder stuff. What? Studio audience?
Yes. Let's
They're
hear
with
it.
you?
Yeah.
Because you are all about the powder.
Team powder.
No.
Yeah.
No. There is nothing better. And here's the deal. I was making about 17 cents in my 20s, so I lived off my dad's gas card. So I would take the gas card and I would go to Amoco, which had a convenience store connected to it, and they restocked every Wednesday. So after my shift at work, I would go into the Amoco station and buy a week's worth of macaroni and cheese with my dad's gas card, and that's what I lived on. You know what I mean? So that was my. There is nothing better when you just don't care about your waistline. There is nothing better than that delicious golden sauce. You can't tell me that your powdered crap is as good as that.
No, you're making fresh cheese. Because you add
okay, let's be
butter
clear. That ain't
and
cheese.
You add milk, and then you're making your own fresh cheese.
Okay, well, I can't afford fresh cheese in my 20s.
No, the powder.
Oh, the powder.
You're creating
That's
your
not.
own fresh.
You are delusional if you think that powder makes real cheese. Come on, Shane.
Is just that.
Nobody.
Into,
who?
Oh,
Shannon, no. Everybody.
You're not eating.
Yeah.
That stuff you eat.
Yeah.
That's not mac and cheese.
What is that?
Mac and queso.
I'm so glad she's here today. I'm so glad.
We've canceled your segment, Shannon. Anyway, Shannon's going to come up a little bit. Shane, I thought you were going to be with me on this one. Anyway, we're going to open up the mailbag a little bit later. We have a great show. Stay right there because we're going to start with the hot dish. Here we go. First up, good stuff today. Jennifer Aniston visited Jimmy Kimmel last night. You know, she's all over the place talking about her new project. Yeah. But before they talked about her new project that you guys will remember as soon as I show it to you, Jimmy thanked Jen, for inviting him to her Friendsgiving meal. But Jimmy had a suggestion. Look at this.
On Thanksgiving, I cook a lot of stuff.
Yes.
The normal turkey, yams, or sweet potatoes, you know, the whole deal. But at your event, we had all of those things. And then, so then I'm making the same thing everyone had the night before again. So in its essence, you've turned my meal into leftovers. So what I would suggest, if I may be so bold,
because you're doing this on national television.
That's right. Maybe on Friendsgiving, we could designate another special meal that we have that's not turkey and not, all the stuff.
And all the stuffing and stuff. So you want me to sacrifice my Thanksgiving meal?
No, I don't, because you're still having Thanksgiving and the Thanksgiving meal.
On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving, where God, Jesus, and his friends
chose it to actually
intended for it to be. That's right. And so
this sounds like a very grateful human being.
I get it. But be grateful that you're invited. But yeah, when you have multiple Thanksgivings or multiple Friendsgivings, maybe a little variety. Maybe some mac and cheese up in there. You know what I mean?
Powder delight.
No, different homemade mac. See, I'm making Thanksgiving. No, yeah. Audience, let's see. Now the studio audience is back with me. That's right, because I make for Thanksgiving, the only thing I usually bring is the Patti LaBelle over the rainbow mac and cheese. If you've never made that, it is like heaven in a dish. It's 14 types of cheeses. Patty puts like fresh cream in there. It's milk. Literally, the entire Land O'Lakes factory of butter is in there. Oh, we'll make it on the show sometime. We should make it on the show. It's fantastic. Yeah,
the right time of year.
Yeah. Well, once that awkwardness subsided between those two, Jimmy and Jen talked about Jen's new Netflix movie that you guys know that we're all loving called Dumplin', which also features 6 Dolly Parton songs. She told Jimmy about the first time that the two met. Look at this.
Loved her since I was little. Sang into hairbrushes, singing to Dolly Parton.
Right.
And then I told her that I named my dog.
You do have a dog.
After her, named Dolly. Yeah. And then
how'd she react to having the dog? Because people sometimes, my wife Molly has a lot of dogs, not named after her, but she shares an, and she doesn't love it.
It's so funny you say that, because yesterday Dolly and I were doing press, and somehow that came up.
Dolly the dog or the
Dolly
person?
the person. Dolly Parton the person. And then she said, it kind of came out that she was like, I know when she said, I named my dog Dolly after you. She's like, I didn't know how I felt about that. And I was like, oh God, I've insulted her. Because she's like, then the interviewer said, well, would you now, Dolly, get a dog and name it Jennifer? And I said, well, that's so not a dog name.
It's not a dog name, but
Sorry, Dolly.
Am I the only one? Either Jen is really, Jen's been in the sun, or her hair looks different or something. Am I alone?
There's a lot of bronzer going on.
There's something looks different with Jen. I don't know what it is. And the little barrette, I don't know. Dumplin', by the way, we're very...
I think she had that same hairdo on a Friends episode.
I think she did too.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
because I used to emulate it all the time.
Yeah.
Right up in there.
You're way more beautiful than Jen.
That is not true, but thank you.
You are. Dumplin', by the way, oh wow, I got nice all of a sudden. After you spurned my cheese. Yeah. Dumplin', by the way, hits Netflix tomorrow. I can't wait to watch that. Let's move on. Next in the dish, there's a new feud in Hollywood. Okay, I don't understand this. It involves 2 women who you would think wouldn't have a beef with each other. This is the craziest. Okay, so Jessica Simpson is responding to comments that Natalie Portman made about her. And here's the deal. So in a recent interview with USA Today, Natalie says that she remembered being a teenager and Jessica Simpson was on the cover of a magazine in a bikini with the caption, "I'm a virgin." And Natalie said in the interview she was confused by that and didn't know what that was trying to tell her as a young lady. Well, Jessica was not happy by that. Look at this. That is the long.
Oh,
Jessica responded and said, among other things, that she was disappointed in those comments and said I think I'm quoting here, quote, "being sexy in a bikini and being proud of my body are not synonymous with having sex." Now, I will tell you, I'm a little bit on Team Jessica here because Natalie Portman, and I love it, she has been in the forefront of women's rights. She has been in the forefront of the Time's Up movement and the Me Too movement. It seems a little disingenuous and a little backwards to be shaming another woman when you do not know that woman's full circumstances at the time. You know what I mean? When you were they're contemporaries. They're both about the same age. They both grew up in the public eye at the same time. Natalie has a great working knowledge of the business, and she knows how the business treats women. Why would you shame another woman when you are aware of how things can be misconstrued? I just think she was a little quick on the send button. It proves before you tweet anything, before you Facebook anything, before you Instagram anything, reread it a couple times because now she's apologizing. She goes, I didn't mean to shame you, but...
Yeah, I feel like she didn't really mean to call out Jessica. I don't know, I feel like we have to blame like the industry and how it was portrayed, because she was like a teenager.
They
she
both
doesn't know what
were,
she's
yes.
doing. You know, she's just doing what they want her to do. So maybe a little bit like snooty-ish on Natalie Portman's part.
A little bit. I think, yeah, a little judgy. Again,
Yeah.
I didn't understand. It just seems unnecessarily judgy on Natalie Portman's part. I'm Team Jessica on this one. Next in the dish, the nominations for the Golden Globes came out this morning. Some of the nominations don't come as a big shock. A Star is Born, Bjorn, holla. A Star is Bjorn did quite well. I'm sorry. I gotta just tell you why that's funny and the crew's laughing. We have a producer here who I adore. His name's Bjorn. And I call him little baby Bjorn, and he loves Lady Gaga, and he loves this movie like so much. So the fact that I just called it A Star is Bjorn, pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, A Star is Born did quite well. Bradley Cooper got nominated for Best Director and Actor. Gaga got nominated for Best Actress. In the motion picture categories for comedy, Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Green Book, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice all got nominated. Vice is the one about Dick Cheney. Christian Bale plays Dick Cheney. We haven't seen most of those yet. Those nominated in the drama category include Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star is Born. So yeah, the audience is like, the drama will either go to Black Panther or A Star is Born. Guaranteed.
Good, I've seen both of those. This is that time of year where you start to feel guilty about all the good movies you haven't watched yet.
Yeah, I know.
And you're probably not going to.
We're not probably going to,
No.
yeah. As far as who will host this year's Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Press went with Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh. Okay. Andy is known for his time on SNL and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which just went over to NBC. Sandra, we all know that. 10 seasons on Grey's Anatomy. I personally love her in Under the Tuscan Sun, one of the best romantic movies ever. Anyway, the award show is January 6th. I love both of them independently. Must be honest, I don't get this.
Me neither.
I don't. Did
Are
they
they friends?
test this? I don't know.
Do they know each other?
Did they do an? Did they what?
They co-host their...
Tell me later, Shannon. They did something together, and they were
Apparently
funny.
it was-
Oh, maybe they listed the nominees together and they were funny, or they hosted something. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go make another cup of coffee. I'll find out, and I'll tell you after this. Stay with us. Coming up, you always have a lot to say, and we are listening. It's mailbag time. Find out how I am continuing to drive some of you absolutely crazy, while at the same time making a baby happy. Then Dax Holt will join us live with details about one of the biggest celeb weddings we have seen in a long time, Priyanka and Nick. And you asked for it, and we have it. Being gluten-free doesn't mean you have to be free of holiday treats. Our friends from Sift Bakery are back with gluten-free holiday treats that you and Santa will both love. The Jason Show will be right back.
How many Broadway shows is this for you now?
5 or 6.
Or 6, who knows, who cares?
I don't know.
Really?
Will there ever be another one? I don't know. I mean, what do I do after this? What do I do? You tell me what to do. I'm Ted Williams in the 9th inning, and I hopefully hit a home run. I'm in it for a year. I'm in this thing for a year.
A year?
8 shows a week. How many shows a week do you do? He does a lot. He does a lot of shows.
I do 202 shows a year.
That's a lot of shows.
Okay, and do you write a new play every night?
Wow. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, good point. Good point, Stephen Colbert. Jeff Daniels of Colbert last night. He's playing Atticus Finch in Aaron Sorkin's Broadway adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird. I want to go.
That would be good.
I want to see that. That is going to be remarkable. More late night to talk about. More hot dish for you. Andy Cohen was on Fallon last night and talked about co-hosting CNN's New Year's Eve Live with Anderson Cooper, because you know Andy took over for Kathy Griffin. Look at this.
But you guys, it was also the coldest New Year's Eve on record in like 80 years.
No, it really was.
It really was. It was so bad. And after we got off the air, we were so cold. It was like a lot happened on the air, first of all. I offended most of our guests. We had.
But how does this happen to you? Because you're the
I know-
nicest guy.
I know.
And
I
you're
don't
a fan
know.
of pop culture.
I am. We had Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban on live from Nashville. Let me ask a question. Anderson's like, okay. So I'm like, Nicole, when you clapped like this at the Oscars, was that because, like, why did you clap like that? She goes, I think there are more important things to be talking about on New Year's Eve than how I clap. And the interview went. And Anderson's like, what are you doing? And then we get off the air and I get in the car and I go, let's see if we're trending on Twitter. And Anderson's like, I don't know if I would do that. I'm like, oh, let me see. And I'm like, oh, we are. And then I'm like, oh my God, there's a headline, Twitter hates Andy Cohen on New Year's
that
Eve.
is ridiculous.
It was bad. Oh, I gotta tell you, Andy's not kidding. I happened to see the Twitter feed that night, and the Twitter headline was, Twitter hates Andy Cohen. And I thought...
Was it that bad? Did you watch?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, they didn't, they're best friends, but strangely, and I love both of them, oddly on television, it did not come across. It was like their live show, which I've seen is really good. It did not, I don't know if it was the format of New Year's Eve, but it was very clunky. But then again, you got to give these people, it was their first time doing it. You know what I mean? Andy's never done New Year's Eve, and that's a whole other beast. You got that Dick Clark headphone on, and you got, you know what I mean? It's like, it's cold. It's, you got Nicole Kidman, and those two will co-host CNN Special again this year. Why was she doing that? I don't know. Oh, jewelry. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Again, my favorite thing now is our executive producer miming to me what I'm supposed to be saying. This was jewelry. Jewelry, Jason. Say jewelry. Next to the dish, another classic movie is coming. Oh, I'm excited. Another classic movie, Schwabi, you'll love this, is coming to Broadway in the form of a musical. And we're getting our first look at the star, the new Dustin Hoffman, in Tootsie the Musical. Based on the Oscar-nominated movie with Dustin and Jessica Lange. Here we go. Let's look at this. That's who will be playing Tootsie. Yeah. People Magazine and Entertainment Weekly shared this exclusive first picture of Tootsie. That is Santino Fontana, a really popular Broadway star. Fontana is best known for the CW show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as well. Tootsie opens next spring in New York. Now, Shane, I will tell you, now we joke that you haven't seen some movies that I would like you to see.
I've seen this one.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, you did see this one?
Because you told me.
And?
I did it. So fun.
Yeah,
and
doesn't
it fits today in a very odd way. Like,
yes, it does.
It parallels life right now.
It is one of those, they call it a near perfect script. If you watch the movie, they call it, Jaws is considered the perfect movie script, but they said if you look at that movie, there is not a single wasted element of that movie. If you go back, no scene, no dialogue is wasted. Well, if you're not familiar with it, it was in 1982. Dustin Hoffman played a struggling actor who dressed as a woman to land an acting gig on a soap opera. It was nominated for 10 Oscars, including Best Picture. It should have won that year, let me just say that. Jessica Lange, hey girl, won Best Supporting Actress for the movie. And since it's 36 years old, here's a throwback.
Clear this set. I need Alan, Tom, and John. Tootsie, take 10.
Ron, my name is Dorothy. It's not Tootsie or Toots or Sweetie or Honey or Dow.
Oh.
No, just Dorothy. Now, Alan's always Alan, Tom is always Tom, and John's always John. I have a name, too. It's Dorothy, capital D-O-R-O-T-H-Y. Dorothy. Excuse me, doctor.
I'm a woman, doctor. Anyway, one of these years I will dress up as Herford. I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. It is a dream of mine before I die, and I want to do that. I'm sure Still ahead, everybody. We're opening up the Jason Show mailbag. Y'all have a lot to say, let me tell you. And then we're heading out to Hollywood where Dax Holt has the latest dish on all the A-listers. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us.
Who can I be?
You can be Jessica Lange. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, I always love doing this. We love opening up the mailbag, hearing from you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is time, once again, ladies and gentlemen, to open the Jason Show mailbag, everybody. That's right. Okay, first up, Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne. Roxanne heard me complaining about not being able to find socks bigger than size 12 for men. Now, because if you look at packaging, it's always 7 to 12. That's it. Every store you go to, that's the average. Well, she writes to me, let Jason know that Costco carries socks 13 plus, but sometimes they have them, and sometimes they don't. And that's it. And thus is the life at Costco. I mean, if you get a snack mix you like, you better buy 8 bags because they may not be there next time. Okay, next we're getting more feedback on we're getting more feedback on producer Ted's latest Hallmark Christmas movie review. Ted gave it a 1 crown because he gives he awards movies and gold crowns, and he only gave this one 1 crown. Karen writes, Ted. Santa is so not bringing you anything but a lump of coal this year. Yeah. Karen, I love you, and we love that you watch the show. However, Karen is in the minority because for the first time since we started doing this segment, the majority of the American public agrees with Ted. That's right.
This movie must have been
This last one was
real
horrid.
bad.
Ted, what was it called? Mingle All
the Way.
Mingle All the Way. He said it was he gave it 1 star, Next up, okay. Now this one let me take a drink here. Yeah. Peggy says, oh, Jason, when you say, yeah, which is getting worse, by the way, it seems a little rude. This is a bad habit. Okay. Let me tell you, I went off about this on the radio show, too. Let me just say this. Everybody, whether you have a goofy TV show or not, everybody has a vocal tic. That is my vocal tic. I don't even know that I do it. I don't do it to drive you crazy. Like that one woman, when I go like this, it drives her crazy. I wish my mom could have engineered a perfect human being, but she didn't. I don't know that I say that, but I mean this honest to Oprah. I was talking to my executive producer, and I was trying to figure out what the intention was of when I say it, and I really mean this. When I say it, it is actually a signal of agreeance. Like if I have a guest and they're going, here's this tip, and I go, oh, yeah. It means that I agree with them. It's not a dismissive movement. It's not. So we get so many emails about this. I'm not doing it on purpose. Please forgive me. It's a vocal tic, and I'm not being rude to the guest. Thank you very much. Still ahead.
Can you do a pound with a yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here comes the email. Still ahead. We're marking a special occasion for a gluten-free bakery in Minneapolis. But next, it was the wedding of the year in India, and Dax Holt has all the dish on Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's big day, live from Hollywood when we come back. Back after this. Yeah. I can't help. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, game time coming up in just a little bit. But right now, we have an extra help in a hot dish this morning, and for that we turn to our insider to the stars. Ladies and gentlemen, live, good hair today. Live from one of the many rooms in his mansion. Give it up for Dax Holt from Hollywood Pipeline, everybody. Hi, buddy.
Hello, good morning.
I must acknowledge a good hair day today, Dax. That's some quality hair right there. Okay, this is now the last time that I think the last time we're going to talk about the wedding of the year because it's all over the place. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. What do we have, Dax?
Well, you're calling it the wedding of the year, huh? I didn't realize that Meghan Markle and Harry's wedding got trumped by this one.
Okay, hey.
But
you're right. That is my mistake. You're right. It's wedding number 2 of the year. Yes.
But I would say it's definitely up there. I mean, insane wedding that I felt like has never ended. I feel like every day there's more photos of them doing some kind of ceremony that keeps coming out. They've, traveled all around India doing different receptions here and there. The fireworks show was unbelievable outside the palace on their wedding day. And they've been followed around by armed guards everywhere they're going. Here's the thing. I feel really, really bad for Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. How are they going to top that wedding?
Yeah. I mean, like, they're not going to be able to. You can't. And I love how...
It's impossible.
And did those armed guards, they had like AK-47s or something.
Oh, yeah, they're not messing around. I mean, she's basically royalty over there, so they're making sure that nothing comes in between them and their happy time over in India. But it was just funny because I kept looking at Joe and Sophie's faces, and they looked very happy to be there, but I think in the back of their mind, they're just like, oh, this is not good. We don't have a palace in mind where we're going to get married.
Yeah, they're going to be like a cheesecake factory or something. Yeah. Next up, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin taking some, speaking of love, newlywed photos.
Yeah, these were, I mean, listen, guys, Justin Bieber looks probably the happiest I've seen him in a very long time. He looks really good. But the two of them did a whole photo shoot for Annie Leibovitz, which is probably one of the most famous photographers in the world. She does a lot of those photo shoots for the cover of Vogue and other big magazines. And they had a photo shoot in the Hollywood Hills. They're all over each other, hugging, kissing. He's giving her a piggyback ride. They're changing in and out of fancy clothes. But I'm telling you, I think they just want to show the world how happy they really are.
Hey, you know me. I used to bust on him, but hey, if he's in a good place, it's better than the place he was a few years ago. So I'm happy for him. Yeah. Katy Perry was out in the town in L.A. She had an interesting and furry +1.
Yeah, what the heck? So Katy Perry shows up to Giorgio Baldi, which is one of the fanciest restaurants in Santa Monica. All the stars go there. She took her dog in with her. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure the rule is no furry animals inside the restaurant, while you're eating. But because you're Katy Perry, apparently you're allowed to just bring your dog in and set it down at the table with you.
This is coming from me, and I'm a dog person, so don't save the hate mail. But I don't like that. I think because it's, not everybody is a animal lover, especially when you're eating your fried rice or whatever. You don't want to be, I just think it's disrespectful to the other diners.
Absolutely. Aubrey O'Day, if you remember back in the day, Aubrey used to bring her dog and set it on the table next to her at a restaurant. I'm like, no. You can't do that.
No. I mean, therapy dog's one thing, but no, if you're just Katy Perry walking in with Fifi, I'm sorry, no, yeah. Dax, hey, by the way, congratulations. Your website, by the way, you have a new logo and everything. You got a brand new look?
Oh my God, I have been spending weeks and weeks on getting this new website launched. It is a much better experience for people. You can zoom in on the photos. It takes you to other links. It was just the first one, it worked, but this one really works. So I'm very excited to show it off. If you get a minute, please log on to HollywoodPipeline.com. Check it out. Send me your responses, what you think I could change. I'm listening. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. But I'm really just wanting to make a really good experience for people.
Hey, Dax, I wanted to tell you, I'm going to Walt Disney World during the holiday season. If you would if you would like to join me and get and have a really have
a real experience.
Yeah. You guys, I say this because Dax tweeted me. Texted me. Dax was in Walt Disney World, and he was like having to wait in line. It was like, really? He goes, Jace, how do you do it? And I go, well, I kind of have to be there with you, and then I can show you. So, Dax, next time, bring me.
Next time, I promise.
Yes. Thank you, buddy. Dax from Hollywood Pipeline. Like Dax said, go on to Hollywood Pipeline, support Dax, and follow him on social media. Search for Hollywood Pipeline and Dax Holt. Still ahead, we're playing some 90s trivia, and then we're celebrating a milestone for Sift Bakery. The owner of the gluten-free establishment is in the house. We're baking some cookies, or decorating some, I should say. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. We started today's show with a story about Jennifer Aniston. Jen's always been known for her roles on Friends, obviously, a show that helped define the 90s. And that decade is helped defining today's Game Time. Here we go, everybody. Today's game is taking us back in time to the decade of grunge, baby doll dresses, and super soakers. It's 90s trivia. That was very good. I'm going to ask a series of questions related to pop culture in the 90s, and the player with the most correct answers wins. Playing today to my left, give it up for Deb, everybody. Hello, Deb! So, Deb, you were 17 in the 90s.
I was,
Look
yes.
at that. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
She was 16 in the 90s. It's Teresa, everybody. How are you?
Good.
You remember the 90s.
No.
Oh. I don't even
I already
remember.
told your producer.
Yeah, I don't remember them either. Okay, here we go. Hands above buzzers as soon as you know. Now, the first one is multiple choice. I say this all the time. Nobody ever listens, so I don't really expect you to, but we're going to try it. Do not buzz in until I give all 3 choices. So here we go. Question 1. Which online retailer opened for business in 1994 selling books? eBay, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Teresa.
Barnes & Noble.
No, over to you.
Amazon.
Amazon is right. That's right. 1 point for Deb. Woo-hoo. Hands above buzzers. This is not a multiple choice. Just buzz in as soon as you know the answer. Name 3 of the 6 main characters on Friends. Teresa.
Joey, Chandler, and Monica.
You got it. That's it. Ross, Rachel, Phoebe, Monica, Joey, and Chandler. Okay? Hands above buzzers. We are now tied. This is not a multiple choice, so again, ring in as soon as you know. Which 90s movie star from classics like Edward Scissorhands and Reality Bites was named after the Minnesota town where she was born? Deb.
Winona Ryder.
That's right! Yes! I didn't know she was named after Winona.
Yes.
Oh, well, look at that.
She was.
Learn something every day. 2-1. Hands above buzzers. This is a multiple choice, so please don't ring in until I give all 3 choices. Which boy band did commercials for Chili's singing about wanting, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, ribs? Is it NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, or 98 Degrees? Teresa.
Backstreet Boys.
No. Over to you, NSYNC or 98 Degrees?
NSYNC.
It is NSYNC. That's right. Shane didn't even get that one right, and Shane loves Justin Timberlake. I know. Here we go. 3-1. Hands above buzzers. This is also a multiple choice. How old was Doogie Howser when he became a doctor? 12, 14, or 16? Teresa.
12.
No. Over to you, 14 or 16?
16.
No. He was 14. No points awarded on that one. Hands above buzzers. There we go. Multiple choice again. Which popular singer in the 90s released an album under the fake persona Chris Gaines? Billy Ray Cyrus, Shania Twain, or Garth Brooks? Deb.
I'll say Billy Ray Cyrus.
No. Over to you, Shania or Garth?
Garth.
Yes, Garth Brooks. Teresa's back on the board, 3-2.
All right.
Another multiple choice. Bubble tape was huge in the 90s. How long was a roll of bubble tape? 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet. Deb.
6 feet.
You are right. It is 6 feet. That's a good one. I need a lot of that stuff. Okay, here we go. Hands above buzzers. This is not a multiple choice. Name 3 of the 5 Spice Girls by their nickname. Teresa.
Baby Spice, Scary Spice. I don't know.
Oh! Deb, over to you.
Posh. Oh, I got to name 3?
You did.
Posh, Posh, Scary, and Spice.
Done! All right, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. There we go. You know what? They both win every day, everybody. They both go home. Thank you, Schwaberini. They both go home with a Jason Show mug. We'll be right back with some goodies from Sift Bakery.
Cheers.
Cheers. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody. That was great. Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh, that was so good.
Welcome back, everybody. Beautiful decorations. Last year we introduced you to a bakery of a different kind, and it blew up on our social media, serving up all sorts of delicious treats. But it's unlike its competition. It's gluten-free. Yep, believe me, we hear you. That's why we're bringing it to you again, and they're back. Here's our visit to Sift Bakery.
I'm Molly Miller. I own Sift Gluten-Free, Minneapolis' gluten-free bakery.
We've been gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, egg-free for the most part for over a decade, and just super excited that there's a bakery here that, you know, when we do have those nostalgia cravings, it's here for us.
So what made you want to do this? Because did you always want to open a bakery?
No, I went gluten-free in 2010 to help me control symptoms of Crohn's disease.
Okay.
And I had been a lifelong baker. I've just always enjoyed it, and previously had a career in advertising, book publishing, editing, writing. Just
Now I really want to know, how do you go from that to all of this? Yeah.
No, I was a home baker. Just always enjoyed it. My mom taught me a lot, had a lot of fun with it. And when I went gluten-free, I didn't want to stop baking.
Yeah.
So I just started tweaking recipes and playing with flours, and here we are.
I heard, was it true, you kept giving things to your friends and family, and they were like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Did that motivate you to do something bigger?
It did, definitely.
Yeah.
I had friends with celiac disease who kept saying, I haven't been able to eat a donut, I haven't had a muffin, no one's doing this, like, you should really take it to the next level. And that's when I tried farmers markets. And also, most of my family isn't gluten-free, so to get their feedback and have them enjoy it was really helpful too.
I don't need to go gluten-free. I probably shouldn't be eating baked goods at all, but I'm very curious to try. Do you have a favorite item as I look at your case here?
Can't go wrong with the chocolate donut. Double chocolate donut's a favorite. I always say the cinnamon spice donut is the donut that started it all, because that's the original donut I brought to farmers markets, and I would just constantly sell out because people loved it.
But I would really like to go eat now, so I'm gonna go try the gluten-free stuff. Since you said it's the donut that started it all, I will start with this. And what's this one again?
That's our cinnamon spice donut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very excited about this.
The spice is nutmeg and cloves, so.
I don't notice any difference. Like, not at all. It's like, was this a hard nut to crack?
It took a few tries, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you keep the moisture?
It's magic. I can't give away my secrets. You know?
I tried, everybody. I tried so very hard.
We call those our quiche bites. Right now we have ham and cheese in them, but yeah, we're really happy with how that crust turned out.
If it was like the Pepsi challenge and you gave me, I would never know.
Yeah.
That is so good. And then finally,
But this is our focaccia. We sell it in larger squares, and I cut it up into little breadsticks here. Just have some Italian seasoning on top, and I'm really happy with how this turned out.
Oprah would eat this. Let me tell you, Oprah would love this. I love gluten-free bread. I did and I do. Welcome back to the show, the owner of Sip Bakery. Audience, give it up for Molly Miller live in person, everybody. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
I'm not, Molly, I'm not kidding. We aired the story. We put it up on our Facebook page, on Instagram, and it blew up. I mean, it was, I think people are really yearning for, as more and more people want to eat gluten-free, I think people are looking for really good options, and you are a really, really good option.
Thank you.
So
Thanks.
what started it, I know we covered a little bit in that story that we shot last year, but what did we, where did this come from? Where did this desire come from?
I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease as a kid, and then as an adult, I went gluten-free to try and control symptoms. And yeah, I didn't want to give up baking because I've loved baking my whole life.
Yeah.
So just started experimenting and started selling at farmers markets, which led to a booming wholesale business. And now we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of our storefront.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
It's, I mean, and more, I mean, as we shot that piece, Eric and I were sitting, people just can't, the neighborhood has really embraced you guys, haven't
Definitely,
they?
yeah, it's been fantastic.
How do you keep everything moist? Are you going to tell me the secret now?
Nope.
No,
Nope,
See,
still not telling you. Still not telling you.
What are we making today? What am I going to help you with, I should say?
Well, our bakery case is now full of all of our holiday options. So we thought we'd show you how to decorate some holiday cupcakes here today.
What are these? Before we do, what are these?
Those are our cinnamon rolls.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're gluten-free and vegan.
May I?
So yeah,
seriously?
dig in.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be.
Yeah, the glaze kind of
It's all
hardens
right.
in there, but
Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay. Now see, I'll wait because if I eat, I can't talk. And okay, there we go. So what do we?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do here?
Well, I thought I'd start with the little Christmas wreath option here.
Okay.
So really easy. You can buy.
Let me watch you. Everybody knows I have a piping issue. I can't do this well. I can't.
You can do this. This is an easy one.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get an easy piping tip at a Michael's craft store or anything. Piping bags, if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a Ziploc bag and just clip off the corner. And then literally hold the cupcake and just
do a little star like that.
Do a little star all the way around.
Okay.
Super easy. Even Jason can do it.
Well, let's see here. Let me just. And you know, and since you were here last, I've become obsessed with the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, yes.
So now I really want to learn how to do this well. So I want to. Do you like that show, Molly?
I do. I love that show. Yeah. Look at that. See? Easy. Easy.
Thanks, y'all. And if you notice, just like my grandma, I stick my tongue out when I do anything like that. That's pretty good
That's
right
fantastic.
there. Yeah.
Don't forget your sprinkles now on
Little
top.
sprinkles on that. See, that's easy. I can do that. I'll make these. I'll do this. I have a little party I'm doing next week, so I'll make those.
So there you go.
So what else? So show some other stuff. What do we have over here?
These are our sun butter blossom cookies, so kind of like the traditional peanut butter cookies with a Hershey Kiss, except these are peanut free. So it's part of our cookie selection for the holidays.
Yeah, keep talking so I can eat.
We've got a gingerbread muffin with a lemon glaze on it.
Ooh, Eric, get a shot of these right here. What are these again?
Gingerbread with a lemon glaze.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. So we have those available via special order. Cranberry muffins with a little orange zest in there.
Okay, now let me just ask you, as I'm eating, this is what again? This is a peanut butter?
It's a sun butter cookie. So it tastes like peanut butter, but it's peanut free.
Let me just tell you, I don't know how you do that because I'm not joking. I'm eating this and peanut butter cookies are my favorite, like my
Mine
favorite.
too, those
like
are my favorite.
my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
No joke. This I cannot tell that you do not have peanuts in these. This
That's
is
the goal.
so good.
Thank you. Good.
See, now what did I do? I put another piece in my mouth. And I can't. For more on Sift Bakery, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Head to their website. Their website is siftglutenfree.com. We're going to post this a little bit later on Facebook. I know you all will share it because you want more of these options. Give it up for Molly, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll be back to wrap up the show when we come back. Back after this. This is Sincerely.
Yeah. Good. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's my mom's recipe, and we just.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, we're here with
our producer.
I know. Shane's back with us, and look who's here. Give it up for our buddy Shannon Paul, everybody. Well, hello, Shannon.
Hi.
Why are you here today, Shannon?
Because I want people to come see me at other places this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, you do. You have some great events coming up that we wanted to get the word out. Tell everyone where you're going to be.
You know what? And I'm actually very fortunate because I always appreciate when people come out to see me tell jokes, and I'm glad that I get to do that as a gig. But I also have the luxury of being able to do some things that also support some great organizations here in the Twin Cities. So tonight, I am doing a show, and it's called Cookies and Comedy. And so our good friend Tina Rexing from T-Rex Cookies. Yes.
We love, Tina's been on our show many times. You're looking at a story that we did with Tina.
And she's fantastic, but she is moving because they are knocking down her current location. So she is actually going to go on a great food truck adventure after this. But in the meantime, what she's doing to showcase and really celebrate the space she's in right now, she has been doing a series of performances. So me, some singer-songwriters, some other things. And so at her current location over on University Avenue. So tonight we are doing Cookies and Comedy. You spend $25 at the door. You get cookies, you get a drink, and you get comedy. And all of the proceeds this evening are going to go to the Autism Society of Minnesota. So
which is
something very close to my
your
heart.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked with them for a long time. I'm on the board of directors, and my son is on the spectrum. So I really appreciate what the Autism Society of Minnesota does here for families. So I'm glad to be able to.
And they do a lot.
I love that combination.
Yes.
Cookies, comedy, and drinks.
Yeah,
And Miss Shannon. I mean, you get Shannon. I mean, you know.
The comedy, yes.
And since I just got back from auctioneer school, we are going to do a live auction this evening.
Right.
So you get to see me actually do like 2.5, 5, 5.5, 10. Like we're actually going to do that as well.
You were not here that day. Shannon is an official, like, graduated auceuctioneer
Licensed
now.
and certified.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long does that take?
Well, it took a week of school.
But to actually learn how to rattle that.
Oh, forever.
I mean,
I'm still practicing. Like every day I get up and I look in the mirror and I'm like 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 10.5, 15, 12.5, 20. You know, because otherwise you get bad at it. So.
We had her on afterwards. She auctioned off photographer Eric to a family in Montreal.
Yes.
That's right, yeah.
So sweet.
Yes.
They got quite the bargain.
They got, Anyway, and you have one more gig too.
In case you can't go across the river this evening, this week on Friday and Saturday, I'm actually going to be in Hopkins at the Royal Comedy Theater, which is one of my favorite places before. Yeah. So one of these days, we need to get you over there. The owner would love to have you come tell some jokes at the Royal Comedy Theater.
I'll do it. I've done it once, and that's it.
So
Hey, by the way, Shane is going taking some ceramics classes tomorrow, so she will not be here.
Yeah.
Shannon will be filling in.
Yes.
And by the way, if you want a full rundown of all Shannon's shows, head to our website, missshannon.com. Now, tomorrow on the show, one of our favorites, Psychic Maria Shaw, is here giving live readings to our studio audience. So if you do not have tickets and you want to be in the audience, some tickets are still available. Go to our Facebook page and click tickets. You'll get a confirmation today. You'll be in by 9:30 and out by 11:15. Plus, Christopher Straub is here as well. That is going to do it for us. You go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks to this audience, thanks to Shannon, thanks to Sip Bakery, and thanks to you. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.